Happy holidays. The last few days have been wrought with plumbing issues, and I have old plumbing, in this bathroom in this apartment, and here I've had to figure out all kinds of stuff. I don't want to know that much about plumbing, so here I'm going to tell you what happened. So anyway, the plumbing leaked on the hot water side, so I took out the faucet, I took out the plumbing. So I took out these little doohickeys, and I took out the cold because I needed washer. So I went and got a washer. I've got a box of washers. I actually found them. That was the first trip. Second trip, well, maybe that was the third trip. Anyway, it ended up not being a washer, but being a seat washer. Anyway, it's this thing. And look at that. And I never even knew what that was. But anyway, so as I'm in the hardware store, I'm talking to people in the hardware store, and there happens to be a plumber in there. And he says, he goes, I have seat wrenches in my car. And he ends up living just around the corner. So he lent me his seat washers. So I took out this piece, and this is what the washer looked like. That's what the old washer looked like. See that scrumpled up thing in there? Anyway, so I learned way too much today. So the reason that the washer didn't work is because this piece is so corroded that no washer in the world would prevent the water from not going through. So anyway, I bought this box that looks like the seat washer is the same. So let's see. I'm going to take my little trusty seat wrench thing, and I'm going to put that back in there and see what happens. Okay, well, I think I got that little seat washer in there. See that little guy in there? That's the new one. This was the old one. You can see that little chip out of there? Okay, let's put this piece in here, and then I'm gonna put the faucet on and the water back on and see if perhaps it's not going to leak again. Oh, I just got the cold one here. I'm just gonna pop that on. So I got to take it off anyway and put the rest of the thing. Oh my God, my technical plumbing terms. Too funny. So let's see. I am not a plumber. I learned this all today. It's crazy. Okay, so that's on. So let's turn the water on. Turn the water on. Okay. It's a miracle. Will it stop, or is it going to keep running? It's still dripping. What is its problem? It didn't fix it. So that means now that I need to get a whole entire faucet. Well, at least it's not dripping as much as it was. Maybe if I'll have to call the myriad of plumber people that I talk to and see if there's something I'm not doing. Maybe tightening that seat washer, and then tightening that up the other piece before I jump to conclusion. I'm down here in my basement. It's 6:30 in the morning. I've had to deal with my on-demand hot water heater freezing up. We put it against the wall in the basement, which is 6 feet underground or 8 feet underground. And because it's negative temperatures, it's freezing up. So we did put insulation behind here and a little heater, but it's not enough. I don't know what's going on with this finicky thing. I should have just bought a regular hot water heater and stuck it in the basement. I don't know why I did this. Biggest mistake ever. Don't use on demand unless it's away from any air source and If you don't have room for, if you have room for it, don't put one in. If you have room for a tank, don't put one in, because I have a big, huge tank here next to my heater, and I put this on the wall because it direct vented. Terrible idea. The last few days, actually the last 3 days, have been wrought with plumbing issues. My on-demand hot water heater that you can't see because the light's not on. Anyway, my new on-demand hot water heater keeps freezing up, or kept freezing up, because I got that window back there that needs to be stuffed with insulation, but because of the vent, can't be near insulation. So we shut it down, we drained it, and we bypassed it, and my newest renter is now using the same water heater that we are, which it's gigantic. You know, and there was also a leak underneath the sink, which was coming from up here somewhere. And so now that's drying because that's taken care of. So other than that, life's been good. So I switched the faucets. I turned off the water, and I have to replace the whole thing. I also fixed the chain on the toilet. I never know what I'm going to run up against. I never know what I'm going to run up against until I actually open stuff up. So that was an easy fix. That not so much, but we'll be redoing the entire faucet system, because I can't find any place that has those correct washers because it's such an old system. It's okay, it needs to be done anyway. And tonight, very exotic dinner. We've got beans, all organic, with flaxseed oil on and salt and pepper, a fresh avocado, a burrito with some salsa. Yeah, it's good enough for tonight. And a big glass of water with lemon in it, actually limes. Lemons were so expensive. They were 3 times as expensive as the limes. Limes work for me. Oh, good morning. Here we are in the room that we're going to paint today. We're going to get down and get these areas painted. They're already primed and repaired. And then there's also these pieces here that I'm not sure how they're going to fit, but I'm going to put them underneath that window. I'm not the best at this selfie stick thing, but anyway, those pieces are going to go in that window. We're going to make trim. And so let's get started. Well, I went ahead and lightly sanded all of this molding because it's all old from the basement. I gathered all the similar ones that will cover that little gap down there. I also found paint. Amazing. It's almost a perfect match. You can hardly even see. I painted that little corner. Amazing. So we're going to go on and paint these in white and then cut them to fit the 2 rooms and put them down after I paint the 2 walls, or the 3 walls, because the paint's amazing. I'm shocked sometimes that I'm able to match stuff, but I lucked out again. And the reason I decided to use the old molding is because it's so wide. It's 1 inch wide, the old measuring. And yeah, there's a big difference painting it. And the reason I didn't go out and buy new molding is because of the width. It's so wide that it covers that gap, and even any regular molding is not going to be wide enough to be able to cover the gap. Nothing's wide enough. So I decided just to piece the other ones together. I have enough. And I like I said, I would have bought new molding, but nothing's wide enough. If I put regular molding against that wall, it's only going to be like a half inch, 3/4 of an inch. And this is the old measurements because it's old molding and it's wide enough to be able to cover the gap. So I figured I'd, make the best of it and just paint it and use it. Here's a better shot. I cut all the molding. Well, I didn't cut it. I painted it. It needs to be cut so it can fit down here. I'm going to go ahead and paint because I matched the paint almost perfectly. So I'm just going to do this down area here so I can put the trim in because I need to use this room. So we're going to put a drop cloth down and we're going to get to painting all this area that I've repaired. Taking the trim off and putting in pieces of fiberboard and, mudding it, sanding it, taping it, and all that, and just repairing what I can. These pieces here, like I was saying, there's a couple pieces of molding, and I'm not sure if I want to do this or if I want to cut this piece of molding and just put it in here, because there's a big gap in here, and it's like a half inch, and it would look better if there was trim or something in here because I'm going to paint these windows as well. So I gotta get this room spick and span. So we'll figure it out, but there won't be any more white primer down here. I'm going to go ahead and make that look real nice, and then we'll put that trim back down and move on to something else for now. I'm not going to paint the walls at the moment, and I'm not going to paint the trim at the moment. I have way too many projects going on. Just want to go ahead and get everything looking a little bit more consistent.
We can pack our bags and we just go, go, go. He said, let's go catch a flight. We bout to stay up all night. Red eye goodbye, hold my hand tight. He take me straight to the sky. Baby, take me out to Tokyo. Let me catch a flight to San Diego, Paris, Madrid, or Tobago. Anywhere you wanna be, where we gonna go? Take me on a ride, tell my girls bye-bye. Just touch down, show me around, then kiss me goodnight. We can pack our bags and we just go, go, go. I'm ready to party on the floor, floor, floor. With you, with you, with you, with you, with you, with you. Put me on the plane, I wanna get raptured. Click, click, these photos get captured. Signs in the sky, never stamp on my passport. Airplane mode, cause I get what I asked for. It's really good to see you. Hotel 5-star, cause we need to. Mountains, ocean, in the rear view. Suntan lotion, water so clear blue. Anywhere on the map, all I do is tap tap. At the hotel bar, let's call the car. We can pack our bags and we just go, go, go. I'm ready to party on the floor, floor, floor. With you, 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 with you.
Well, that looks really good, and this one's still drying, and it matches so perfectly that you can't even see where I painted and where I didn't. I just sometimes I'm just amazed. I've been doing this for so long, but to pick a white that's kind of yellow, that kind of matches, but wow. So I'm happy with this. So we'll let it dry, and then I'll go ahead and put the molding. I have to cut the molding and put the molding down, and that'll be good for today. Quarter. Should be right here. Hopefully. So let's see. Get that cut, and that'll fit. So I have to put some pieces of wood in between underneath so the molding doesn't go down too low. Okay, so this way. Get on the other side to do this. Let's see if it'll fit. Okay, ready? Let's see. Oh, look at that. What did I do? Okay, that's good. Perfect. It goes all the way to here, and I need to put something underneath there so I can lift it up so I can put this piece in there and attach it to that piece, but it fits just perfect. So we got all that, so I just need to go ahead and put some stuff underneath, and then now it's time to do this little piece, this little corner. Get the molding put in there. Well, we're getting a little snow today, and it looks like we got maybe a couple inches. Not very much. It's supposed to snow till like 7 o'clock. I was supposed to be out and about tomorrow, but we'll see. Well, hi. We're back in one of my rentals, and we're going to give it another shot. I'm going to try and repair the faucet. And I tried once. I took out everything and I replaced the seed washers on one side, the seed washer on one side on the hot side, and the washer on the hot side that went to the little piece that goes against the seed washer. And if you noticed that the seed washer was so corroded that there's no rubber washer in the world that would have went against that seed washer, which is a copper washer that goes behind the rubber washer, because it was so corroded that the water went through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the seed washer on the cold side now, because what I did is I switched the inside copper pieces, brass pieces, from the hot to the cold, and now the hot is not dripping. It was the hot that was dripping. So now I'm going to replace the seed washer on the cold side and see if I can get the cold to completely stop dripping. I don't know. It might be possible. It might not. So all we could do is try. I don't have a choice. I had a plumber come in here and he looked at everything and he went, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, whatever. So I'm going to try and do it myself. And so I got the water on the hot side to totally stop dripping. And now I have to deal with the cold side and see if I can get that to quit dripping. It's dripping ever so slowly, but while I'm at it, I might as well do it. So that's what we're going to do today. So what I had my renter do is temporarily just shut off the water to the shower tub. And she had the water on to the hot, so I know the hot is not dripping. And she had the water, I just turned the cold water back on. She had the cold water off, so I imagine it's still dripping. So I put the cold water valve on, and there's no drips. Well, I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know. Now I don't know what to do because nothing's dripping. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I have to ponder for a moment. Well, for right now, what I'm going to do, and I see now that I don't have a screwdriver to take off this little screw, but I guess I really don't have to. I just take off the valve. So I'm going to take off the valve, and then I'm going to spray some WD-40 on that seed washer in there and see if I can get it out. I'm not sure if you can see that seed washer in there. I don't have a flashlight, but anyway, in the back, way in the back, there is what they call a seed washer, and I have these special wrenches, and the washer itself looks like that, so I'm going to replace it. The old washer in the other side of the faucet looked like that. It's completely and horribly corroded. I don't know if you can see, it's in this container, but I'll show you in a little bit. Let's see if I can get this seed washer loosened up, because I tried before the WD-40 and I couldn't get it to come out. So I'm not quite sure which wrench fits it. Oh, duh. Let me get the other one and I'll be able to find the wrench. Okay, it's this one. I have two different ones that a plumber lent me. It's like I never knew what a seed washer was. God. I'm not quite sure how to loosen this. Lefty-loosey, right? Oh, I think I stripped it. Oh, now what? It seems like it's too small. Here's the one that's going in there, so maybe we'll just use this one, since it goes all the way in there. Oh, I must have stripped it. So now what? Oh, what do I do now? Now I can't do anything. That just sucks. Suckaroony. Let's try this one. Oh my God. Okay, well, can't fix it now. Shit. Well, sometimes you're just not successful. I was not able to completely repair, so I put everything back together for her. But now, because it's going to be like below 0 in the night, I have her leave this open anyway. And I just shut off the cold. She had the hot on, so the hot wasn't leaking anymore. So I just basically shut off the cold. So after she's done using the shower or the tub, she just needs to turn this off. And I have a heater down here. I put a heater vent in this bathroom, and we'll just leave the back. You know, I put a vent in this back wall piece, but I'm just going to have her leave it open until the cold weather is past. So that's where we're at. So at least it's back together for her. Oh well, such is life. We're going to have to replace all of the cover plumbing, the entire faucet, but not today. I didn't want to forget to record this because this is the first time that these walls have been prepped and this molding is up. There's never been molding all the way around this room. It has to be touched up and cleaned. Floors all repaired, the walls repaired, and the molding's in. You would not believe what this looked like just a few days ago. And for the first time, this wall is all repaired and the floor is repaired and the molding's all in for the very first time ever. I still have to do little touch-ups and fill some areas with grout, but it's done, just about. And this little hallway section is also finished.